Hey guys, you don't want to miss this episode of Meet Victoria with Caleb Shaw. We got bows, we got arrows, and we got bullseyes at STX Archery.
When you think digital marketing, think ThriveFuel. Websites, social media marketing, advertising, and much more. ThriveFuel is professional digital marketing.
Welcome to Meet Victoria, where we'll get to know the people, businesses, and heroes that make this community special. I'm Caleb Shaw, owner of Shaw Realty and your host. Now let's go meet Victoria. When I was a kid, Dukes of Hazzard was my favorite show. And when Bo and Luke absolutely had to save the day, they turned to their trusty bow and arrows. Well, I'm excited because today we're at STX Archery, and I'm gonna find out if I could have cut it as one of the Dukes or not. Let's go meet the guys and find out. Hey, my brother.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for having me, man.
Nice to have you.
Dude, I am excited. You guys have a ton of stuff going on here. Anyway, you could give me a tour?
Yeah, let's go. Let's start the range.
Let's check it. All right, man. So already I could, this is just too cool for me because this is a whole lot more than what I was expecting walking in here. So tell me a little bit about this room, what you guys call it and what you do in here.
Yeah, so this is our range. We have 20 to 60 yards with rolling bins going anywhere you want. We did that just because a lot of the sites need 60 yards of sight in. Around here it's so windy, so people really appreciate having the 60 yards inside. We also host a lot of indoor events, so we have Texas Field Archery Association and then our own league nights that we host in here periodically throughout the year.
I know a lot of times, like on, say, rifles, you know, we zero it depending on what you're doing, 100 yards, sometimes 25, 50, depending on what your mission is. What is kind of the typical of what people zero at here? You know, you've got the 20, you've got the 60. What's standard?
So typically you'll start at 20 and your site will start out at 20 yards, and that's kind of your starting point. And then a lot of the sites will go out to 60 yards, or they have a calibration at 60 yards. And so that's specifically why we picked 60 yards for this building. So you can set your site up completely inside here with no outside elements, and it really helps, and people really appreciate it.
Man, that's nuts. So what if I just can't keep hitting bullseye in here over and over and over again, and maybe I need a little bit more, what if I want to shoot in something in 3D or it looks like an animal instead of just hitting bullseye all the time?
Yeah, so we actually have a 35-yard outdoor range we can go take a look at.
Yeah, and I appreciate you not calling me on not hitting bullseye all the time too. Let's go check it out. All right, talk to me, brother. What do we got going on out here?
All right, so this is our 3D range. It's really actually multi-purpose. So it's really great for hunters because as you can see, we're on top of our platform. So it really gives you the chance to shoot at angles, like out of a tree or a blind, because it is a difference when you're shooting from the ground base up here. So it gives guys an opportunity to do that without having to get in their stand and shoot. The other nice part about it is 3D archery is a competitive sport. So we have all official targets, and so we have guys come out here and actually practice for their competition. So you got hunters getting a chance to shoot from an elevation. You also got target guys that are getting to shoot on the targets that they need to practice on. All right, so let's go inside and Blaine will get you set up and see what bows fit you and get you going.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, sounds good.
I think most people in our hometown, Victoria, think that world-class healthcare is only accessible in the bigger city. We have a highly trained staff of physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, specialty physicians that provide every level of care that's required. The majority of our patients do return to the home setting. Everything we are, everything we do is geared around that. So why go elsewhere when you can get world-class care right here in your hometown?
Hey, Blaine, I'm Caleb Shaw, man. Thank you so much. Kyle said you're the man at all this and you're going to get me set up on some bows, but before we jump into all that, I'd really like to know what all you guys got going on here, man. There's a lot of stuff that looks way over my head that I just don't even understand. What do you guys do back here?
Well, we carry 3 major brands, like 3 of the big names. We carry Hoyt, we carry Matthews, and Bowtech, which a lot of people That's what the archery industry kind of grew up in. That and PSE, but we don't have PSE. Then we also carry Martin. They have a company called Obsession that goes with them, so we can deal for them as well. And then with Bowtech, we get the Diamond series, which are perfect for little kids. They have a wide variety of draw lengths and draw ranges, so we can pretty much fit anybody.
So I would assume that there's all sorts of different, you know, things that go into this, your size, your strength, you know, preference, all that. And you guys, you know, I know we're going to go through this, but you're kind of the one-stop shop here where you can get me not only suited to a bow, but you can help me personalize it and customize it per se, just to me.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. Now, these things look super fancy. That's more what I grew up on watching Dukes of Hazzard right there. You know, old Bo and Luke, they'd attach a stick of dynamite and blow up the outhouse or something, and that looks like a bow and arrow to me. These things almost scare me. You know, I've never fired a bow before, so I've never even pulled the string on one of these things. But how did we go from this to this?
Well, these started from, this is what the Indians used. Not this particular bow, obviously.
Right, I was gonna say, man, how'd you come across that thing? But no.
So the big thing is now is how quickly you can recover your kill. A lot of these bows, they're slower. You're gonna shoot a heavier arrow. They're not gonna fly as fast as these. Like some of these bows have up to a 350 feet per second IBO, and that's screaming out of a bow. Then you got a lot more that goes into it. Your arrow build's a big part of it all. That goes for both of these bows, the older bows and these compounds.
These carry, you know, I noticed that this has a lot of fancy, you know, pulleys, or I don't even know what you call all these things up here, and this one doesn't. What is kind of the point of all of these excess, I don't even want to touch them, they make me nervous, but these gear looking things on this one versus that one?
So these on this bow are called cams. These rotate. And when these rotate, it puts tension on these limbs to give you your draw weight. So like if this is a 70-pound bow, when these limbs flex, you're at a full 70 pounds. Then you go into let off, and when that comes into the style of cams. Some cams have a deeper valley than some others. So what that means is, like at the back wall, some bows you're holding 10 pounds, some bows you're holding 6 or 7 pounds. That's all on the shooter and what they feel comfortable, and also the style of cam is going to kind of determine how stiff that draw cycle is going to be. So like this is a very aggressive cam on this bow, whereas you go to like this bow, it's not as aggressive looking as this one, so you're going to get a little bit smoother draw when you go to a not such a hard cam.
Now, do these help? Like that one, it looks like, say, when I went to go draw my bow and pull it all the way back, that I'm just going to be muscling that and trying to hold it to make that shot. Do these assist with that to where it's not, you know, me 100% having to hold all my power to shoot this arrow? Because that one looks like it would be harder than this one.
Absolutely, and that's where I was saying at the back wall you'd be holding on some bows 6 pounds. This one, if this is a 50-pound bow, you're going to hold 50 pounds.
Got it.
All the way at full draw. These, if you have 80% let off, you're drawing 70 pounds, you could be holding 8 pounds in the back wall versus that full 70.
Got it. Now, why, when we're sitting here talking, I know a lot of times, like, say with a pistol or something like that, you know, obviously when there's a clear range of fire, we can dry fire sometimes to line up that shot or what have you. I heard that that's something like, don't walk into a bow shop and pull back on the bows. And it seems like, well, why not? But I hear that's a big no-no.
Yeah, that is absolutely a big no-no. For the simple reason is there is so much energy coming out of these cams, out of these limbs, that arrow actually takes a lot of that energy. And how it works out of a compound bow is whenever an arrow is shot, they'll flex up and down. And that is that energy coming off that string making that arrow fly like that. Almost kind of looks like a wave if you ever watch it in slow motion.
Gotcha. Now, real quickly, I noticed you got a couple other bows here on the table. Can you real quickly show me how this, you know, kind of the evolutions, some of these look a little bit older than some of the other ones. Can you show me very quickly how, you know, we went again from this and then to this, to this, to this, to these fancy looking things, and just kind of like, you know, what are the main differences? Is it a weight thing? Are they getting lighter and more contraptions, or what has it kind of been the transition of these from here to there?
So we have more Matthews up here than we do anything. So just based off the Matthews, like obviously you're coming from this. So we're gonna use this as like a baseline there. And we're gonna come to this. This is an older bow. This is a 2010. This bow was more of a speed bow, and then again you get your hard cams. It's gonna be a little bit stiffer on a draw. So then what Matthews wanted to do, they wanted to make a smoother draw. So what they did is they came out with a single cam. This bow was manufactured in 2013, and this was actually the last of the single cam bows. They have some prior to this bow, but this was the main one. Like a solo cam, you wanted smooth, you ran with a solo cam, because there's not two cams to break over. It's just one circle and then one that kind of looks like an egg. Best way to describe it like that. Okay. And then we'll go to this. So what they did with these is they wanted to combine smoothness and they wanted to combine accuracy with this bow. So what they did, this is a 2022 V3X 29, and what they did with this is they made the risers longer and made the limbs pass parallel. So you get the stability of a longer bow, you get the smoothness out of these cams because they're not as hard of a cam, and then they made it more user-friendly for everybody.
I need user-friendly, man, because we're gonna have to go over there. Now, how is this going to translate into making me hit a bullseye over there as a first-time shooter? You know, I noticed you got some bows set up here. Which one are you taking to try to make me look good here?
So since you're a first-time shooter, what I would do is I'd set you up on a lighter pound bow. Okay. It's easier on you. Are you
calling me weak, or are you?
No, I'm just
I'm just playing.
That's another thing.
I'm full of bad jokes.
That's another thing with compound archery. You can have the biggest guy that walks out of a gym, looks like he eats 45-pound weights for lunch, walk in here, and I give him a 60-pound bow and he can't pull it back.
Got it.
It's a totally different muscle group. So I'm gonna put you in something that I feel like you're gonna be comfortable with, because I want you to enjoy archery. I want you to be like, man, that was awesome. I wanna dig deep and I wanna maybe grow into this sport. So I'm gonna set you up on a lighter poundage bow. I'll take you back to the wall, I'll measure you, get you a rough estimate on your draw length, and then I'll come set the bow up to you, and then we'll walk back in the range. And I'll get you to run a few arrows through it. I'll pay attention and see what you're doing. If you're stiff arming real bad, and if you're digging real hard into your face with the string, and we'll work with you on that and try to get your form right. And then go with it from there, man.
Welcome to Furniture Warehouse Direct. I've got lots of furniture that we've just set back out. If you're needing something right away, come into the store, check it out. You can take right off the floor. We have Simmons Beauty Rest, Simmons Hybrid, and we have Simmons Beauty Rest Black. Our selection of bedroom sets right now, solid wood. We have some with self-closing drawers. We still carry a little bit of everything. We're budget friendly for every budget. We have financing options. We have leasing options. Check us out at FurnitureWarehouseDirect.com, and we're at 2110 John Stockbauer in Victoria, Texas.
All right, guys, welcome back. Man, first off, before I go any further, thank you. I had a ton of fun today. This was outstanding. It was easier and harder than I thought it would be, all in the same breath, if that makes any kind of sense. But for those that don't know you, please introduce yourself.
My name's Kyle Markham, and I run STX Archery Outdoors.
Got you. What in the world made you decide to try to open an archery place, man?
Well, the big thing was it was a passion of mine, and it's something I wanted to do every day. I enjoy messing with bows, talking about bows, being around people that want to shoot archery and hunt. And so that was a passion, and then on top of that, there's a need here. There's not really a true archery shop anywhere close, and there's a lot of people that shoot around here. There's a big culture of archery, whether it's target archery or hunting in this area. And so we wanted to bring that back and give people an opportunity to have a place to go and create that community again that people really craved.
Yeah, and I know, I'm more familiar on the gun side, I know that side a lot better, but this is the same but different, like it's the same 25 different levels of this, and you can go super deep into this, and there's competitions and all of it. But what made you decide to choose bow hunting over, say, rifle shooting or something like that?
So with bow hunting, when I shot my first deer with a bow, it was the biggest adrenaline rush I've ever had, because it's more intimate. You can see the hairs on the deer. You can see its breath. Your scent, your movement is so much more important. And so there's really more of the difficulty level increase with it, and then also it's just shooting a bow is fun. And so combining the two, it really it's the biggest adrenaline rush that you can have.
Yeah, and I can kind of speak to this a little bit. This a week or two ago, I went out with some guys with Wentz Brothers Outdoors, and they were hunting awdads, and they were doing it with bows, and there was a lot of strategy to it, because I swear from a mile out, those awdads knew we were on the mountain, and then you had to glass them, and you'd stalk them in, walk them in from across the deal, but these guys were having to get within 50 yards, 40 yards, 30 yards to try to, I know the bow was capable of more, but to have a good, clean, ethical shot and all of that, I mean, I wasn't even shooting that day, but it was very intimate, like you talked about. I mean, it was move 5 feet, stop, and then you're just looking at each other, and then you're trying to creep a few more feet and doing it, and it was intense, and it was a lot more than putting a bag of corn for 9 months right outside a deer stand and leaning out the window and shooting. There's a lot of strategy to it. What can somebody that's never picked, like myself, I never picked up a bow before, and so driving by it might be a little intimidating to, man, I don't want to go, I mean, I do want to go in there, but I'm nervous because I don't know what I'm talking about. What can somebody expect when they walk through this door?
Right, so our biggest thing is making people welcome. We want to welcome you as soon as you walk in the door, and no matter your level of knowledge, we want to make you feel comfortable. We want you to set you up in a bow that you're comfortable with, whether it's the price point and the capability of it, and we want you to be able to walk out feeling like you learned something and that you were happy with your experience here. We don't want to just push a bow on you and get you out the door. We want it to be a full experience. We want you to learn. We want you to grow. We want you to come back and shoot with us. We allow people, once we set up your bow, we say, hey, come back. If you have problems, come back. We'll help you. We're not going to charge you extra. We want you to be happy with your experience here, and that's what we push. I hate going into bow shops and feeling uncomfortable, like I'm not welcome, like they're just trying to sell me a bow and get me out. And so that's our strategy is really making it to where you have a good experience, that you're happy here and you want to come back, and just even if it's just to come hang out or come shoot and have that, being the part of that community.
Well, and I noticed, and that's awesome, because I noticed, you had a young lady to come in here that's going to be competing in state in a week or two, and then right off the bat, you guys, you picked up like you were old friends. You went in there, y'all were talking and working with each other, and I watched her make some incredible shots, and that's just it's a really cool deal, and so what are some of the things that, it goes a whole lot more beyond, we got to see the range and all that, but again, it's a lot more than just walking in and buying a bow. You guys are helping to facilitate contests and competitions and all that, so kind of, what's in the future for you guys, or what do you hope to see this place accomplish? So
in the immediate future, we're really trying to push some league nights and having more of that, like we talked about, community, having somewhere people can come up and compete, because everyone loves to compete, cash prizes, stuff like that. So having that opportunity for people to come up, keep shooting their bows in the off season, and that's a big one for us. Other things are going to be being more involved with the Texas Field Archery Association, so having more indoor shoots, maybe some outdoor shoots, and different things like that. We want to be able to grow the competition side as well as the hunting side of things.
Gotcha. Now I got to ask, I know I only took a few shots here, but how did I stack up against the average person walking in the door? Did I do okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to tell if you're lying to me or not, but all joking aside, you guys, I enjoyed it, man. It was a lot of fun. You took the time to make me feel confident in what I was doing, to understand what I was doing, and I'm grateful for it. before we get out of here, man, what am I missing? What if people are on the fence about this? If they're, man, I want to go, but I'm a little bit nervous, what would you say to them?
So just come in and try it. We don't push you to, you can come in and shoot every bow in here, and we'll let you shoot anything you want. Ask as many questions you want. Give us a call. We'll sit there and talk to you. We don't want you to feel like that we're putting you off or anything like that. Come in and just see what we're about. We have people come in all the time, just look around and say, hey, I saw y'all building. We want to come check you out. And so we'll welcome you in. We'll talk to you all you want, and just try it. I mean, there's nothing. We won't force you to buy a bow. It's come in, give it a shot, and just see what you think.
Just don't dry fire the bow.
Don't dry fire.
That sounds good. Well, man, again, thank you so much. I really did have a ton of fun. This was a good time. I feel like it's something I definitely need to improve on, but I found the place to do it. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and we will see you at the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in to Meet Victoria with Caleb Shaw. If you haven't done so already, make sure you comment below, share the videos. It really helps the algorithms. Also, make sure you like the page, follow the page. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, if you want to be featured on Meet Victoria, shoot us a message. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, make sure you support our great sponsors. We could not do this without them, and we're grateful and blessed to have them. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you at the next one.